Wednesday, July 26th, and you're listening to the Next Level Podcast, episode 76. I'm Amy Basavan. With me is the monster that sleeps under your bed, waiting. It's John Danho. And we have a man who puts the word terror into Terraria. It's RXZ. Well, hello. You should have been looking into the camera, man. Like slow look over.
Because you were looking back at me, so I was like, I just kept going.
That's some funny stuff, man.
Right on. Well, welcome, boys.
Welcome.
It feels like it's been a while.
It's been a little while, yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Why does it feel like that? Oh, yeah.
Because we did the pre-tape.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's been well over a week. Fuck, man.
It
Good to
feels
be back.
It feels odd, dude, when I don't have this to punctuate like my weeks to like kind of keep my timing and rhythm in the sense of, you know, my life.
Yeah. It's like a little indentation in the middle of the week. Like on my Wednesday, I might already have a busy schedule, but then it's like, oh, I have podcasts at night too. Okay. It really makes like
For sure.
me feel like I did work, you know, today.
That's funny, man. No, this is some good stuff. And actually, on that topic, I've been talking to my friend Rosmik, who's been listening to the podcast and everything. So shout out to him. And he asked me the other day, like, dude, who comes up with these funny titles and like and like the way that you introduce? I'm like, I mean, dude, he just comes up with it. Today's titles reminded me of that simply due to the fact that like they're
funny.
fucking random.
You
dude.
gotta have fun with it, man.
Yeah, of
that's why
course,
we're here.
dude.
We don't take ourselves too seriously. We just want to, you know, video games are fun.
Yeah.
So let's have fun.
Yeah. I'd say the introductions are my favorite part, but I wouldn't want to say that because a lot of parts are my favorite.
We should just have an entire episode of only introductions. Yeah. I'll introduce you guys. You guys introduce me.
And then we'll just keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Until we run out of like creative ideas.
Dude, that would be a funny game to see who like lags on an idea first. Like there's a timer. You have like 10 seconds to introduce somebody. And if you don't do it within that 10 seconds, you know, like
you
we're just,
accumulate
like,
time.
it's a hot potato. Like,
Okay, you accumulate time, and then whoever has the most time at the end loses. Whoever has the least time accumulated, like of lag,
Whoever does best gets to sign the door again.
twice.
That's funny, dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you
man.
get accolades where you put like a little star next to your
We put
name.
a star.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I actually like that.
We put like medals or whatever,
That's
like badges.
really funny.
You know
Very
what I mean?
funny,
That
very
is
funny.
hilarious, dude.
Okay,
Yeah, or like stickers or something. I don't know. Something funny, dude.
I'm down, man.
I'm down
yeah.
like a clown, dude.
Boy
Also,
Scouts.
I forgot to mention we have Josh in the booth.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Josh.
Greetings,
doing
Josh.
doing the switching and all that stuff today. So, yeah, how about that?
How
that?
about
Here we
that,
are.
dude? How about some video games?
I've heard of those
Have you?
a little bit.
I don't know, man.
We've
Well,
actually had some more variety this last week. Like the couple of weeks before that, were sort of dead.
Yeah.
Not too much going on. You know, on same stuff like PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah,
You
recently.
mean like play variety? Like
Yeah,
where
play
we
variety
our
was
person
kind of
play.
dead. Like we were playing the same kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But something new came out on the Switch recently, right?
They did indeed, dude.
Yeah.
Mr. or Mrs. Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Very fun game, man. I mean, I don't own a Switch, so just in case someone's confused, I don't own it. But our friend Maher does, who's been on the podcast before, and I mean, he's a founding member.
Yeah.
He has the Switch at his home, and he bought Splatoon 2 for his brother and for himself, and we've just been playing, and it's been an absolute blast, I think.
Yeah, same here. All our Switch experiences have been at Sean's / Maher's house.
Yeah. Sometimes at Emin's as well, yeah.
Yeah, that too. And yeah, they got the Splatoon 2 game, and I had never played the first one.
Okay.
I watched some trailers of the first one, but I was just kind of like meh, whatever.
Sure.
But I played the second one at their house, and I'm beyond impressed. Honestly, it's truly such a fun game, and they have something so unique going on.
So unique.
It's really very unique.
So
yeah.
try to think back for just a moment, Areg, to when we would talk about Splatoon 1 on the podcast, or even just mention it peripherally.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Nintendo's got something unique here.
Yeah.
Nintendo, like, they should keep doing with the
I see
original
it
IPs
now.
and stuff. You see that, right?
I definitely
you
see it now, and I feel it too.
It's very interesting, man.
So it was like Splatoon 1 was probably one of my favorite games from the Switch.
It's
like
awesome.
I played that. I played Mario Kart the most, and then that probably second. It was a fantastic game. I'm curious. Like you said, you haven't played Splatoon 1. Have you, John?
I
Because
played... Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
no, go for it.
I'm like, is he going to ask me? Am I going to... I actually have played Splatoon 1, but at your house only.
Okay.
That was it. Only at your house did I play Splatoon 1. But at your old place, we
Sure.
would just play every now and then. I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
The music, the artistry, like the cool colors, how they juxtapose with one another.
Yeah.
Fantastic game, dude.
So like basically like all the videos and everything that I've seen, it just sort of looks like more Splatoon. Is that what it is? Like
Yeah.
Like, have you played enough Splatoon 1 to know kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
all the little differences?
I don't know what they've added, what's different, what's not.
Yeah.
I know there's different weapons. I know there's new maps.
Yep.
I know that sort of thing. I don't really know what else in the presentation is different because you still are on that same little city block.
Right.
It's cool, like shops and stuff where you could buy items and weapons and clothes.
Yeah.
Then you go in the main tower. That's your matchmaking. It looked exactly the same as Splatoon 1. Just
So how
same here.
Splatoon 1 worked was there were only 2 maps in rotation at any one time, and these
Same.
maps would rotate like every few hours or so.
this
It's like
do you
every
remember?
3-4 hours or so.
This is about, I want to say it's about every hour and a half to 2 hours. I
Okay.
don't know
All
exactly,
right.
but we'll say the
So
upper
they
limit's
speed
2,
it up a
lower
tiny
limit's
bit.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then, so from what I read, there's also it's called like Salmon Run or Salmon
I
Rush.
have not played that, dude. I want to. I don't know
And
how
the
you
only way-
access.
I believe it's only through the rotation.
Oh,
So it
that's
gets added
dumb.
to the rotation, which is like a weird choice because it's horde mode, isn't it? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
So it's like Splatoon, but horde mode. So you're with like a team. As far as I know, you're with a team, and like waves of enemies are coming, and you just gotta,
Oh.
they're
trying to
get
paint?
progressively harder. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, they're salmon, like fish, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they're fish. and
It's
you're-
like the regular bad guys you face, which is like salmon or it's like squid things.
Yeah,
It was like
fish-based
squid
stuff.
bad guys and
By the way,
octopus bad guys.
for people who don't know what Splatoon's even like, essentially,
yeah.
like
yeah, that's funny.
you're like a little character, probably like a child, and you spawn.
you're an
you're-
ink kid with attitude.
Yeah,
man.
you're
It's like
okay.
it's
You're an ink kit with attitude, and you have a team versus another team, and each of you pick your weapons, and your weapons are like paintbrushes or paintball guns, and they essentially every weapon just shoots paint, or you can have a big roller and just roll paint, and
or like
you're-
a bucket, and you
or
just
a
like
bucket,
toss
you
paint
splash
like
paint, yeah.
it's fun. Yeah.
exactly. And then so like you have a map, and you try to paint more of the map of your colors team than of the enemy colors team that
Yep.
they're painting. So they can paint over your paint, and it's like a back and forth. And if they run a paint over you, you die, and you have to respawn. So like it's really cool. It has PvP elements. I think it's quite a thrilling game. In fact,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know what it sort of reminds me of? StarCraft a tiny bit
the-
because
What do you mean,
it's like
dude?
you're
Fuck.
basically playing Zerg, man. Like you're building creep. That's what you're doing. It's not,
Dude,
you're not trying.
okay.
I know it's a
Sure.
pull. It's a sure. Yeah, it's a stretch.
You're building
but,
Zerg
but like
in
that's what it
Splatoon
reminded
2.
me of.
Okay,
When
sure.
I first saw Splatoon, I'm like, oh shit, it's like
Well,
it's like
bro,
the Zerg.
I'm not going to sit
like
here and
building
argue
creep.
that. I'm not going to sit here and start like nitpicking how it is or not.
No, I mean I'm just
No,
like,
you're right. It
it's
reminds
an
me
observation.
reminds
all.
me of the creep that
Yeah.
the Zerg spawn
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
for sure.
We're in agreement. It looks like
We found-
Not for long.
good insight.
Not for long.
No, but like you were saying, it has like very interesting elements. I also wanted to say like it has interesting RPG elements because you can level up. So you level up your gear, whatever your gear is. You can get traits on them like lower respawn time,
Oh,
or you
yeah.
can be resistant to enemy paint or things like that. And as you're leveling up, the gear gets slots to have extra traits on it, depending on how long you're wearing it, things like that. So
That's
it's
cool, man.
actually very legit. You could kit yourself out to look really cool, customize yourself to look
Yeah.
really cool. That was one of the things I loved about Splatoon 1 was like, what would you call it? The urban ghetto vibe? I don't know. You know
Sure.
that like kind of like hip hop vibe that they have,
Yeah,
like
totally.
where every like song like kind of is like chicka chicka boom, chicka,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you know
sure.
like some fun
It's
stuff.
like
and,
underwater hip hop.
Underwater hip hop, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's cool. No, I like it a lot.
is
And
cool.
like the ink kid is like moving along with the beats as like they're trying on outfits and stuff. It's really fun. I like it a lot.
Oh, and you can move the little joystick and like make the music yourself.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
the scratches, the
Oh,
you
no
you can
way.
like do it yourself.
As you're
yeah.
loading, yeah, you can mix it. It's cool.
It's
That's
very
alright.
fun.
Yeah, when David discovered that, he was just like a kid. Like he didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on, everything. And then
Just
later
wanted to
on,
stay in the loading menus.
yeah, separately, Mahad discovered it
Yeah.
while David was there. Like
Yeah.
because Mahad wasn't there when David discovered it. And Mahad was just like, "What is this? What is
Yeah.
going on?" And David was like, "I know. I don't know. When I found this, I was just this is all I wanted to do."
Creative expression. It's
Yeah,
like you
it's
found
fun.
a window of like another way to express yourself creatively. It's amazing.
It's fun, man. The game is very charming.
Yes.
Like that's one of the things. Like that.
Yeah.
That's like they allow you to express yourself in funny ways, like from the way you customize to the way you scratch to even like the weapons that you use and stuff. Like it really you express yourself in this PvP environment.
Sure.
So it's fun.
Each
yeah.
weapon has its own ultimate. So when you,
Oh, right.
yeah, like the more you paint with the weapon, you build up your
So it's
ultimate.
like, all right. So exactly how does that work? Do you choose a loadout and then you
Yeah.
go into
Exactly.
a match, and so you choose your weapon, and the ultimate is it tied to the weapon, or
Yes.
can
Yes.
you choose your own ultimate?
No, the weapon is tied to an ultimate.
Okay.
Some of
and
them
you
are
build it
the
up
same.
via painting.
Some of them are the same among
Yeah.
weapons. So like
Yeah.
the paintbrush might have, just hypothetically, the paintbrush might have the same ultimate as the paint can.
Sure.
It just might
Okay.
happen to be that way. Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
yeah, it's a little
Honestly, you
yeah.
know, they could have definitely made unique ultimates for every single weapon.
So for your loadout, exactly what are you like? What are you
Your
choosing? You're choosing your
clothes,
weapon.
your
Oh,
weapon.
your clothes.
Weapon, yeah. Weapon,
Yeah.
hat, shirt, and shoes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your clothes. That's just
They have
your-
traits. They have the abilities that John was talking about.
right? So like how.
Yeah.
What are these traits? Is it like damage up, speed
Yeah.
up, or is it like
Speed up,
little
damage up,
incremental
pain
things?
resistance.
Pain resistance, lower
Okay.
respawn time, things like that.
Random stuff. Good variety of things, actually.
And
And
you can
then-
get a couple traits on each item of clothing. As I was saying, as you level up, they open up like slots
Yeah.
for
But
different traits.
so how it was in Splatoon 1 is you wouldn't choose the traits; it would be random.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
So I'll give you a perfect example. So let's say I had a shirt, and the shirt, everything has one trait no matter what, like beginning. So let's say I get a shirt and it's paint speed up or paint like, shooting up, whatever. As I level it up, a second slot unlocks, and as it unlocks, it shows you like kind of a roulette
Slot
of all the
machine.
slot machine of all the of all the traits going down, and then it just settles on one, and that's it. Yeah, so it is random.
Okay. And then is there a way to re-roll that you
Oh,
know?
I don't know, dude. I have no
don't know.
clue. I don't think so.
No, not sure. We didn't really mess around too much with like the clothing.
I mean, I'm
and
sure
stuff.
there has to be a way because if you get some trait that you don't need, then is that piece of gear useless now?
Well, you're asking me that question. I like fashion
And,
souls,
yeah,
dude. I
for
just
sure.
literally play to look good, dude. I just want to
But
look
you
good.
want to also be good.
I mean, I'm good with my roller, dog.
Oh.
That's it. I love that weapon, man.
It's the best one.
Yeah, the
It's the
cheapest
best
thing in
one.
the game.
It's
Well,
it-
it was the cheapest thing in Splatoon 1.
I
that
think
thing was
still
dope.
is.
I think
Yeah.
it's the easiest weapon in the
powerful.
game.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people use it, so you should essentially have one at least per team. I think, dude. It's just
because
such
you
a
can
good-
cover so much ground
Yeah.
too.
cover so
Dude,
much.
it's like a
Yeah.
bastion. Like there's a very easy counter to it if you can like think about it for a second. But people don't take the effort to be like, oh, I'm gonna counter this guy now. Like
For sure.
you just like get into it and you get rolled over.
and
Can't do much.
it also helps to mention, I think, that the ranked mode is not turf war. The ranked mode is like this weird capture the flag or capture the point kind of hybrid thing
I didn't know this.
that Maher and David said that they didn't like at all.
Interesting.
Like at all.
Wait, sorry. So it's a capture the flag?
It's
sort of
it's
thing?
something like that where you're capturing something, capturing points or capturing like area, and like it's more PvP based than it doesn't matter how much you paint of a turf or it makes no difference.
Interesting.
Yeah, they said they hated it. They said I would hate it. I didn't even try it.
So it's like an online battle arena, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, but the point I was making from that is that I don't think in that mode the roller is going to be as good.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because it's better to cover ground, but it's not always a good weapon to use to fight because someone long range can just fuck you
Yep.
up and you can't do anything
True.
at all. So I mean, yeah, I don't think the roller is that cheap because they changed the way the ranked mode works. Yeah,
Interesting.
I didn't even know about the rank mode being like that, dude. Honestly, I love Turf War, and
I
can't,
love it.
I can't see this game anything but Turf War.
Me
really.
neither.
Yeah.
that's why I didn't even bother. Like they said they hated it and they said I would hate it, and I was like, well, I don't care about it. I just want to. I like Turf War,
Yeah.
so
That other mode doesn't interest me at all right now.
yeah, me neither, dude.
Well, I'm definitely interested to see what it is because you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know.
You never
Yeah,
know.
I mean, we don't own the game. That's why I guess it obviously feeds into us not being interested.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I quite love it, man.
Yeah,
You'll love
I
it too,
am-
Em.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Splatoon 1 is one of my favorite games on the Wii U, and I've been waiting for this. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely
from
gonna
from
pick
my
it up.
perspective, it looks the same as Splatoon 1, just better.
Yeah. How does it perform, by the way? I didn't ask this. Like, is it smooth? Is it all right?
The one hiccup is essentially like when you join the match, you can't leave anymore. And there's just
Okay.
this one screen at the end of the match that asks you, do you want to continue or exit? If you happen to accidentally hit continue, you're stuck in the next round again.
And it's very easy to accidentally do it.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Very easy, yeah.
Like you have to remember because it turns into habit because you play like several rounds back to back.
Just
So you
like
keep hitting
jamming
continue.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you finally want to leave, the screen rolls around. You don't even expect it. You accidentally hit continue, and then that's it. You can't exit anymore.
You
Oh,
cannot
well,
exit.
What do you mean you can't even exit?
You can't.
can't
Like
exit.
you press start, you can't
Nope.
exit.
Nothing.
Oh, it just locks you in.
Yeah,
It
just
locks you in. man.
Yeah, I like that.
You
That
like that raw?
Truly inconvenient.
No, less
Yeah,
of a
it's-
chance for getting levers.
No,
Just, I mean,
sure.
be aware. That's
Of
all.
course, man. But like for us,
You don't
it
want
was
to play
kinda
anymore?
like,
Then fucking.
Like we forgot once in a while to change the loadout or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
so
things like that.
you can't change your
No,
loadout when
you
you're
can't.
inside.
You're
it.
locked.
you can't do anything.
Okay, well that changes.
And it's
things.
the waiting
Okay.
room. You're still waiting for other players.
Hmm.
It's not like you joined the match. So you could leave and then it could just fill another player in your place. It's not like you're screwing your team.
Sure.
You know? Yeah, don't let me leave in the middle
Yeah, but
of
it
a
might
match.
screw up their matchmaking though. That's the that's the thing.
Yeah, make them do a little more work. Come on. It's inconvenient.
It's hard as it is.
It is inconvenient for sure. But performance wise, like in the matches, no lag that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Nothing really seemed odd about it. And I mean, I remember coming from like the online capability of ARMS on the Switch, and that would lag a ton sometimes, like just awfully. So I was kind of expecting the worst with Splatoon's online, but it seems okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they have this weird controversy of the voice chat. Have you guys heard about
No.
any of this?
All right. So like they had their entire thing showing how the Nintendo their fucking like friend network is going to work.
Yeah.
Like you have to access it through your phone.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. So like all voice chat and stuff that you're going to do on the Switch is going to happen through your phone.
Okay, I'm not gonna do voice chat.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. 100%.
They've shown pictures. It's like your phone. It has an app, and then you get peripherals and like headphones and all
No
this stuff. And
thanks.
it's like
No,
this
thanks.
is really convoluted. I mean, if I just boot up like a PS4 game, they have a microphone on the fucking controller. Like,
Yeah.
come on, dude,
It
please.
sounds like a waste of cash.
It's a like Nintendo's always had problem with their like online friends list and all that, and this seems like a very Nintendo solution. Like just trying to figure out the most complicated, convoluted thing. It's
Why
like
do
all
they
right,
have a
fucking
problem with
like
it, dude?
whatever.
Let's start using other devices for this.
You know what? They also, one of the things I noticed about Splatoon that I don't necessarily like, but it's not really a big deal, is it's not region locked. So you could just get people from all around the world playing against you, which not always I like. I personally
Yeah.
don't like that in multiplayer games at all.
Oh, I actually do like that a
I
lot.
don't like it at all. Yeah.
Especially, well, I mean,
I
depends
like
on
it in
the
Mario
game.
Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, it's cool to verse like people from all around the world because that's like a rubber bandy fun game. But like in a
Totally.
game that like
yeah, I was just gonna say like in Mario Kart it works really well because you don't necessarily need to be precise, but Splatoon's a shooter,
Yeah.
so you have to be a little bit more precise.
Yep.
So,
PvP.
yeah, that little bit of latency might mean
Exactly.
you know if you're painting the ground or you get painted on.
Exactly,
And that's a
man.
problem.
I think the PvP was pretty smooth actually because
Yeah.
I would have a roller and I'm going up against another guy that has a roller, and we'd hit each other at the same time and we both die.
Oh,
You know, as opposed to like, oh, I died and he didn't, or he died and I didn't, and why did that work
It's
out
always
like
the
that? You
same
know?
time, yeah.
It was very clear. It's very clean when someone dies, and you never ask twice about what happened. Really, it's very clear.
yeah, it's not die, it's splatted.
Splatted. Sorry.
Splatted, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
be
see,
PC here.
I'm a
This
noob.
is-
I'm a Splatoon noob. I never played the first one. It's my first rodeo here. I don't have the terminology down at all.
that's funny, man. No, you
Yeah.
got splatted, dog.
I got splatted, man.
yeah, you don't die in a Nintendo game.
You're
You
right,
don't die in
die
a rated E, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it rated like E or something?
should be.
Or E10 maybe at most.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
it's-
wonder, man. Maybe it's T because you do play as teenagers.
interesting.
Are they
Ink
teenagers?
yeah, I think so. It's like ink teens. It's like
Ink
squid
kid.
teens.
Whatever, man. Whatever they are. But I love it, dude. The style and everything about the game, again, I'll say is just phenomenal, charming, very enjoyable. I love booting it up. I love playing it. But I will say, this is actually something I've been thinking about for like a little while. It was actually David who put it in my mind. And then the more I thought about it, I realized like it's pretty correct. I can only play that game in bursts. I don't think I can play that game like for a long period of time. I wouldn't be able to make it like a main game at all.
sure.
It doesn't have that potential. I think it hits a ceiling at a certain point. But in bursts and with friends, switching controller, everything, like trying to do like this internal competition of who gets like the most points on their team at a given time, things like that.
Sure.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you want to go play something else a little bit more.
Yeah, totally. So you're saying like it's good in bursts. That's exactly how it was in Splatoon 1.
Yeah.
And they kind of embraced that because I don't know how it is in Splatoon 2, but for Splatoon 1, when that first came out, there was very little content. Very few guns, very few maps. And then it was every few weeks, they would add new weapons and new maps. Every few weeks. So like every week, there would be a new update. And so like little by little, there was like a trickle of just new stuff. And it was all for free.
They
and
might
it was
do
all
that
there.
again.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like they're probably going to continue down that path. And I kind of hope they
Yeah.
do because it made me load up the game. Every single week, I would load it up to see. It's like, oh, what's the new weapon? What's the new map?
Interesting.
And they have like the Splatfest.
And they were very
right?
good with it too.
Yeah, they were reliable. They were good. The content was meaningful and it was free. That's
Yeah.
like one of the most important parts.
Nice.
But they did the Splatfest, right, in Splatoon 1. Did you ever partake in those?
This is Splatoon 2.
No,
The
Splatoon.
Splatfest?
Yeah, Splatfest in Splatoon 1.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, they're like, it's basically like you know in Splatoon 1 there were like the NPCs. There were these two NPCs, like the women newscasters or whatever.
Yep.
And each month or something like that, each season, I don't know how it worked exactly timetable wise, they would each have a team. So they would say, do you like cats or do you like dogs? And then you pick a team that you want to be on, like very kiddie Nintendo style thing. But then the more you won, the more globally that your team got, like the score.
Oh.
And so they had it month by month. So you'd play in bursts, you know what I mean? You'd like
That's
help
fun.
your team out and stuff like that.
I like that.
And then at the end, you see like who got the better,
Okay.
you know, whatever. And I think there's some kind of reward for it, I'm sure. But every month they would change it. And it's funny stuff. Do you like spinach or do you like broccoli? Or like,
That's cute, man.
funny.
yeah, it's cute.
That's
It's
really
funny
cute.
shit. Yeah.
And I think they're doing it for Splatoon 2 also.
Yeah,
Because
I
I remember reading an article. So, like, I think it was like the first week or
Uh-huh.
something. There were 2 teams, cake and ice cream, and everyone won ice cream.
Really?
Everyone won
I'm
ice cream.
so surprised.
I love ice
Yeah.
cream, man.
So like it was like
What?
1% of the players actually chose cake, and they completely fucked Nintendo up. And they're like, it's like they don't know what to do because
Yeah.
like the entire game got ruined.
That's
Yeah.
funny, man.
It's very funny.
Dude, that as
I would choose ice cream hands down.
Wow.
100%.
okay.
1000%.
I'm having like a
I sort of
midlife
dislike
crisis
cake.
right now. How do you not choose cake, right?
I
Like
sort of dislike cake.
you dislike
Oh,
cake.
I
Well,
love
I mean,
cake,
okay, hold
but
on.
I mean,
I love
there's-
ice cream cake.
but there's a huge
Yeah, ice cream cake is all right. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So when I say cake, like, what's the image that comes to your mind? For me, it's like a sponge cake. It's like one of those like typical.
Yeah, like delicious. Dude.
No, when I think of a cake, I think of like a nice Oreo or red velvet cake that I love, like fucking with frosting and stuff all around it, like a Baskin Robbins, like fat $30 fucking cake.
No, I mean
dog.
you're on
From
you're on
Baskin
the dot,
Robbins
dude.
on ice cream cake. Like fucking remove the ice cream from the situation, dude.
No,
Cake
no,
or
no.
ice cream.
The sponge cake is like the go-to cake.
Yeah,
bro.
that's like a classical
it's,
cake.
it's traditional, like sponge cake.
Well,
You
like
get sponge
the
cake as a
like
cake.
with like white frosting on
Yeah,
top. Maybe
like
there's a few
frosting.
strawberries and shit.
Very simple, non-complicated. Like you can't say Oreo cake is the thing you think of when you think cake, bro.
I mean,
That's
I
like-
can because it is. What do you mean, dude?
Maybe like super personally, like you personally.
So you're not thinking like
But,
the
like,
spot, like the kind of the
generalized.
cream color with the white frosting, like
Totally.
maybe a couple strawberries on top. I can see that, and I love those cakes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, ice cream is definitely the
Jeez,
thing for
man.
me. Bro, I can't. Like I go to Rite Aid, like on a hot summer day, I go to Rite Aid, get a single scoop of like this amazing
Man.
like cookies and cream ice cream or something.
The Rite Aid ice
Blows my
cream
mind.
is like surprisingly all right.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been getting it like once a week
Was
at
it a
least this summer.
thrifty ice cream or whatever they call
Yeah.
it? It's fucking good, man.
I went the other night with Mahad and David, like on a whim, on an absolute whim. We went to the Rite Aid because one just opened by Mahad's house, like 2 minutes away. And you remember
Oh,
those
shit, that's
circus
right.
animal cookies, those pink and white sprinkled cookies when we were
Oh
kids?
god, they put it on.
They have a whole flavor, and they put the cookies in the ice cream. I was just flabbergasted. I was just flabbergasted with what I was tasting.
Josh is about to pack up and go get some ice cream.
Yeah,
That's
I was like distracted. I'm like, what is he? He's loving that.
I mean,
too.
that sounds all right.
No, my man. Like it's redefined how I think of ice cream. Like whenever I go to Rite Aid, I'm only gonna get that. Like it's so good. It was delicious.
I mean, I'm gonna have to give it a try.
we all got it. All three of us got that. David was like, whatever about it. Mahad was just out of his mind, and I was out of my mind about it. Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Exciting
I
stuff.
guess I'm in the 1%.
Yeah, you're in the 1%.
You are
choosing
literally in the Splatoon 1%.
Wait,
dude.
Josh?
I would have picked cake.
cake. Josh, cake or ice cream? Moment of truth.
Pie.
No,
Pie?
man.
Oh no, I'm not a pie guy myself. Unless it's a pizza pie.
A
Then-
pizza
All
pie.
right.
So if someone asked me pizza or ice cream, I'd pick pizza.
You would pick pizza over ice
No.
cream?
I'm actually
Yeah.
not a fan of pizza.
Oh, I love pizza, dude. Pizza, like since I was a little baby boy,
Nah.
loving that cheese
What if
pizza.
they asked you to pick between honor or loyalty?
Damn, man. I think I would pick pizza.
That's
Good
where your head's
answer.
at, huh? No problem, man.
Yeah.
We're one hundo.
So yeah, going back to some video games. What else is happening in the Switch world? Have you guys tried something else new, or
You know, just
maybe
playing
something old?
Puyo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tetris a little bit here and there.
How's
Big
that
ol'
going, man?
Puyo.
Is that
Well-
so fun?
How's that going? You're talking to the resident champ over here.
Yeah.
at the
Oh yeah,
Puyo.
that's right.
You know what happened, man? It was like,
Fucking cheesing your way to victory, huh?
I don't know about cheesing anything in Puyo, but you know, it started off with like I looked at the game when you guys got it, and I was like, man, I don't think I'll like it or get into it too much. But then I kind of forced myself to do it, just to be out of my comfort zone.
Sure.
And I just kept playing, getting better, getting a hang of it. Finally, figure out like how to make chains in Puyo, because that's the first like big leap, you know. And then after that, just constantly sweeping 2-0 every
Nice.
time we play. This last time we played 2-0, Dave 2-0'd my head. Then Dave wanted to play again. Like I told John, you know, I'm losing focus at this point. I'm a little bit worn out. Put my guard down slightly. He ended up taking like a victory, but not 2-0. Like it was 1-1. Very hard
Sure.
fought for him, you know? Finally took it, gave it to him a little bit. He was happy, whatever.
You got to
It's
keep
cool.
the plebs
Yeah,
like okay.
Because they'll never play again. Like,
Yeah.
like my head was like, hey, let's play Puyo. And David's like, why do you even want to play this game anymore? So they got to win sometimes just
For
so they
sure.
keep playing. and then we'll play more next time. And
Yeah.
again, 2-0 them easily.
So it's like, tell me. All right, so Puyo, Tetris. I love Tetris. I've
Yes.
been playing that game since I've been a little lad.
Yep.
Puyo, I still don't fully get like how that game. Fully
Puyo
works.
is just that.
Bro,
It's
I'll
just
be
like
honest.
it's
Yeah.
like what was it? It was like Meher or someone
Yeah.
said it's like mental gymnastics. That's literally what it is,
No.
man.
I
Like
can
I
explain
can't
it.
fucking handle it.
I can explain to it. It's actually very simple.
Like, what's your strategy?
I'll
How do
tell
you
you,
get
bro.
those sick chains?
I'll tell you, dude. The second the Puyo screen starts, I'm immediately holding down like my down button just to start getting them like on the ground. Because the quicker you go, just the more ahead of your opponent you are. So like
course.
while I'm
Yeah.
building my like potentially 6th chain, he's still on like his 3rd, right?
Okay.
So I just try to go quick generally, and I try to just make 3 of them. Like make 3 of them, like yellow 3s together, and then a layer of a different color of 3 on top, and then a layer of the same color that was on the bottom on top of that one. So essentially it ends up being something
Like a sandwich.
yellow, blue, yellow, and then whatever on top if I
So
can.
like 3-3-3,
Yeah.
3-3-3.
Yeah, so not necessarily always horizontal, right? Depending on how they're coming, it
Sure.
might be like this or like that.
But that's the thing, man. Whenever they come like this or like that,
Yeah.
that's what fucks me up. Like
Yeah.
that's
Like
the problem.
this or like
Like
that.
I understand how the game works,
Sure.
but it's hard.
Sure.
It's like
You
it's a
have to
different
just-
type of thinking.
If it doesn't fit anywhere, I kind of just push it to the side and I leave it like I put it in the corner to start like its own little thing later, you know?
Honestly, man, like, do you know what I think fucks me up most
What?
about it? Is that I have to keep in mind both color and shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's too
It's too much that quickly.
Yeah.
My
Totally.
general strat when playing swap, when it swaps from Puyo to Tetris, is to get a double combo. So I have a Tetris ready in Tetris, but I also have several chains ready in Puyo, right? So depending on which was first, let's say Tetris is happening right now, I'll save my Tetris to the very end. So I'll have the vertical line like falling slowly
Yeah.
as it switches to Puyo. Then as I'm going to get the Tetris in Tetris on the other screen, I get my chains in Puyo at the same time. So then now my opponent gets hit twice, right, from the Tetris and the Puyo, and usually it ends the game.
For sure.
You know, if I get a good enough chain,
Yeah,
it
and
works
it's like
out.
late enough in the game, so like
Yeah.
they already have shit on their side.
Exactly,
Dude,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd be interested to see you playing ranked, honestly, at this
Yeah,
or like
that'd be
whatever
cool
the
to see. I'm
online
down, man.
matchmaking or whatever. Because it seems, I mean, not even seems. It's very clear out of our friends and who plays and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You're just the best.
I think so.
So then I want to see how you actually
Like,
stack up to people online.
Yeah.
If you do well, like maybe you can even level that account up or whatever, and like
dude,
get more.
it would
stuff
have
going.
to be a sizable pool of games that I play because playing a few ranked games, it could be a huge variety of people.
Of
I don't
course.
even know if there's placement matches or how it works.
don't know
but
either.
I'd be curious. I do think like a little better than the average player, so should be winning at least 50% of my games. I think, right? Essentially,
Unless,
that's-
Give it a
unless
try and see
the
how it goes.
only people who go pro or who go online are like fucking pros, dude. Who knows?
It's a little intimidating to go play ranked in a game like Tetris.
Yeah,
playing ranked
yeah. Oh,
Tetris
yeah.
Puyo.
Tetris is so storied.
That is
Yeah.
intimidating, man.
It is
Like-
intimidating.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
what brought you to Q ranked? Are you sitting home alone? Are you with friends? Like, I need to know these
I need to know
answers.
these fucking little details. Like, are
Yeah.
you in your room? Are you in the living room? Where are you?
What are you doing in your life right now that made you Q ranked Puyo Tetris, dude?
I guarantee
Gorgeous.
vast majority of the people you see
Yeah.
playing Tetris
Overweight?
online
Just
are
kidding.
on the bathroom.
Yeah, on the bathroom. You're right.
Guarantee it. 90%.
Or little kids
Oh, yeah,
that
or-
accidentally press some buttons in the game.
No, they're dropping pieces as they're dropping pieces. That's
Oh
that's
my
what's happening.
god! I mean,
That's fun, man.
you-
No, but like
you didn't.
it's funny because I don't know if you recall. I mean, but when we were doing the pre-tape or whatever,
Yeah.
you like were scrolling through the Nintendo eShop.
Yep.
And we didn't really see anything that we were just scrolling through, kind of like looking, grasping at straws here. And it's funny because just the other day, Mahad did the exact same thing
Sure.
in the exact same way. Like he was just looking for something to do with this machine. And he's like, let me check the eShop. What is there? And he was going through the same scroll. I saw the same games. And I even told him, I'm like, Emin did the same exact thing. We didn't find a thing
Yeah.
that
We just did a heavy
Cut.
sigh and moved on.
nothing caught our interest. And really, I feel like the Switch is the kind of machine that is not going to catch my interest. It's only going to catch. I should rephrase this. It's only going to catch my interest in one of two ways. The first way is going to be surprise things, arms, Puyo Puyo, things like that. Those are like the surprises that just come out of nowhere and they're really enjoyable and they really take you away for a little while. You play them with friends, whatever. The other way is obviously to simply enjoy the main games you're looking forward to. Zelda, Mario Odyssey, Metroid, things like that are coming out that you can rely on Nintendo to put out and do well. But all these like shovelware bullshit things, like vaporware,
That's the
that's
thing,
just
man.
on the.
All right, yeah, like shovelware, vaporware, sure, like they're shit, of course. But I think that indie games would benefit a lot on the Switch. I feel like it's still early enough in the Switch's life cycle that like there hasn't been too much time for developers to start making stuff out. So I'm very interested to see if like indie developers are going to embrace it, because I feel like having like cutesy little indie games on the go is a very appealing thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the explosion game, where you're like
that
controlling the
graceful
airship.
explosion
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Dude, that game is so fun,
Oh,
man.
I
love
like
that thing.
actually.
Yeah.
That's a good point, dude. That game was really cool and very calming.
Yeah. And that's essentially at first look, it's like shovelware.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is. It reminded me of Geometry Wars, man.
Yeah.
You remember
Totally.
Geometry
Definitely.
Wars?
Yeah, totally.
I
I played
oh
a
my God.
fucking. I played a
I
shitload
loved-
of that.
That blew
love
my mind
Geometry
when it
Wars.
was out.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow,
Oh
they're
man, dude,
brilliant.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
Amazing.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, man.
All right, boys, let's take a little break.
Let's do it.
And we'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
All right, gentlemen, welcome back.
Bro,
We are
Hello.
back.
where were we that we're back now?
Breaking things.
I was breaking that beer bottle, so now I have another one.
Hey,
Very good. What are you drinking, him?
apple juice.
Very good. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm drinking water, everyone.
You have to be hydrated. You got to
course.
stay hydrated.
You got to stay hydrated.
Some way or another, yeah.
You got to stay hydrated. Yeah.
How
know-
are you gonna segue from that? I mean,
Do you know what I love?
see, it's not easy, huh?
Do you know what I love?
I was gonna say, you know who
Video
likes to
games.
hydrate?
I love apple juice. And do you know where you could get some good apple juice?
From
Where?
really
The
big,
Big Apple.
trees? The big apple?
Yeah,
You mean the
big apple.
gigantic
It's-
apple?
Yeah, it's gigantic, some would say. This is a fucking nightmare. This is all a nightmare.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah, so Gigantic, that's a game that me and Arik picked up over the weekend. It was on open beta, closed beta a few weekends ago, which I missed. But yeah, I saw it come out. It looked very interesting, so we picked it up.
Let me ask: was it on your radar before it was released?
Actually, very interesting thing. I remember looking at the game. So I remember first seeing the game like 3 years ago back in PAX.
What?
Yeah, so this
3
was-
years, dude.
Very interesting story about this, actually. So yeah. So it's been around. It's been in production for a little bit, and I remember first looking at it and just dismissing it, saying it's like,
Sure.
whatever. It just seems like every other regular game.
Every other this or that, I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck.
I didn't really see an appeal in it
Sure, yeah,
at
yeah.
that time. But then I read a very interesting article on PC Gamer recently, just before this game came out, and it was basically talking about how the company ran out of money.
That was their whole AMA on Reddit too. Was
Oh,
de-
really?
dealing in
They
that.
started
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about that a
That's
little
why
bit?
it was so popular, because it was like an underdog story.
Yeah. So it's like they ran out of money, and the owner of the company basically called everyone into the room and is like, sorry, we're laying everyone off because we can't afford to pay you. The next day, everyone came to work anyway, and they started working for free because they knew they had something special, and they didn't want their game to die. So like they basically worked for free for like a year to finally get the game out the door, and here it is, man. And they got it out.
That's actually...
And like that's actually
yeah.
that's the reason. Like I read that article, and that's the reason why I tried the game. I'm
Okay.
like, the least I can do is give this game a try.
I gotta
Wow.
say, dude, just on that note, because the Reddit AMA actually dealt a great deal in that as well. That whole topic of, they fired everybody, the people came back and everything. I don't know how much of it is true. I'm just gonna play the skeptic for a
Sure.
moment.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it is true, how much of it
You never know.
is exaggerated. People don't fucking work for free. That it just doesn't really happen in this day and age.
No,
man.
dude, like not if you're entirely invested in something. I've worked for free plenty times just because I feel like that thing is worth spending my time into.
Fair enough. However, I would still say a year is a bit exaggerated, man.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah.
that's a huge chunk of pay that a lot of people have to rely on.
It's
you
like
know
that's
what I
the,
mean?
like I'm thinking they probably didn't go for the entire year. I'm sure like after a certain point they got some funding in when people realized like, hey,
Invested
you know
or
what?
whatever.
Like there's people like actually invested in this,
Yeah.
and there's
Well-
people interested in it.
So my point was with that, not to belittle anything that they've done.
Yeah.
I'm just playing the skeptic. But my point with that was to say that their push for marketing has been very effective. Both the article that you've read and the AMA that I read, which is the Reddit Ask Me Anything where the developers did, has just been phenomenal in terms of how much buzz this game is getting. This game, I don't think, would have received any notice if not for this story that you are perpetuating and that I am confirming that I've read as well. It is simply mind-boggling. The fact that I care about it at all is testament to how well they've done to push it forward.
Totally.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this game until Emin told me. And I'm very glad he told me because I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
This is
It's
super fun
it's a very well put together game.
Yeah.
So basically what it is, it's like a action MOBA-ish sort of thing that you basically have a gigantic creature and the other team also has a gigantic creature. And kind of the objective is to power up your creature by like doing objectives around the map, by like capturing points and by killing enemies, and then they're trying to do the same. And so it's like basically after you get to a certain threshold, your beast attacks, and then you have to take that opportunity to do some damage to the enemy beast. And yeah,
So your beast attacks
that's the gist of it.
their enemy beast, or does the beast like go kind of like in Heroes of the Storm where the beast just
No.
does
So
it like the big boss does
basically,
whatever?
basically your beast attacks and like holds the other beast down.
Oh, what the?
And then
That's
like you
cool.
walk up to the beast and you start like wailing on him.
Yeah.
And
So-
you do some damage.
And you say that, and I can imagine in my head because I've seen tons of clips and stuff. The animations in this game
Yeah.
and the art style and
Oh, yeah, it's
everything is so
gorgeous.
good.
Oh, yeah.
So when you say hold down, I don't know how it really is, but I can imagine like a beast literally like very raw holding
Yeah.
down another beast, and it probably looks satisfying to fuck
So
that.
there's
shit up.
two beasts right now. One is like some gigantic griffin.
Yeah, it's a
which
griffin.
It's
Yeah.
like some heroic fucking paladin thing. And then the other one's like this wyvern, dragon,
Yeah.
black, snaky
It's like a Chinese
sort of thing.
dragon, like in
Yeah.
the Chinese parades
Cool.
or something, almost
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Totally.
And
Oh,
like-
I bet they'll add new beasts and
I
new
really hope
things
so,
Oh,
yeah.
and
they have
stuff.
to.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
definitely no way. They're gonna have to add new maps. They're gonna have to add new gigantics, and they're gonna have to add new beasts. So let me make a differentiation here. There's the gigantic, which was what we're talking about, the griffin and the
Yeah.
dragon-like creature. There's also beasts. So these beasts, there's a variety of them, and each one kind of has its own little gimmick of what it does. Like there's a beast that heals nearby allies. There's a beast that builds like walls and gates around the map to hinder enemy movement. There's beasts that reveal stealthed enemies around them. And you could choose which beasts you want to summon, and you summon them on the control points around the map. So you have a couple of control points for your team that you can only summon beasts on. The enemy team has a couple of control points as well that they can only summon beasts on. And then you also have a neutral point. There's a map that has 2 neutral points. And typically for the whole match, you're essentially vying for
Fighting
those
for that
neutral
point.
points.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes if you get an opening or maybe you sneak around, you can try to flank and kill the beast of a point that they control, the enemy
Okay.
at like another point.
So let me ask there, like let me interject
Sure.
there and ask. So you were saying if you could sneak around and do this and that,
Yeah.
how much strategy plays into this game versus how much just raw mobbing and like just raw
I think a lot,
number and stuff
a lot
like
of
that?
strategy plays into it, bro. Because it's not only map awareness, but the game interestingly makes you teamwork in a very unique way. Like it truly forces your team to work together.
Yeah.
You
Sounds like PUBG, dude.
No. It's like
Yeah.
they actually do it in a very organic and very smart way that I haven't really seen done in this sort of thing.
What do you
that
mean?
it's one thing that really caught my eye is how you spawn. The spawn timers, basically your entire team spawns together. You're
it's not individual.
It's not individual. So like basically when one person dies, you get like, for example, 9 seconds on the counter. But let's say within that 9 seconds, someone else dies. So the counter goes up to, let's say, like 12 seconds or 13 seconds or however long it is.
Adds time, the more people die.
Yeah.
And
And
it
then
all
so finally,
spawns
whenever
together.
the timer ticks all the way down, then whoever's dead spawns at the same time.
I have never heard of that.
It is
Ever, in
it's
any
a
game.
very organic way of getting your team to play together because
Holy
you know
shit.
what? They're always together. And the map itself is not too big and sprawling. So, you're not teleporting across the map. You're not like getting on mounts and doing shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's already very mobile and very agile, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Which is that's a huge part of the game, the movement.
We'll talk about some of the mobility and abilities. And
I'm
stuff
excited.
it's like-
dude. You guys
yeah.
are like telling me a story with like, oh, the cliffhanger,
Oh,
next
yeah.
chat. Flip to the next page and we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
You know?
but like that, I feel like it's a very smart way of approaching things, and just keeps the
Cool.
games very action packed and very little downtime too.
So
Because
let's say-
another interesting thing that I think they do very smartly is in MOBAs and stuff, you go back to base. You go to the fountain and you heal up. There's no you don't go back to base.
Ever.
There's no fountain.
There's no
nothing
base.
like
There's
that.
no
There is no
base.
base.
It's just your
Gotcha.
control points. Like,
Yeah.
let's say you have a beast that heals allies at a control point. You need a little bit
Yeah,
of
but
help.
that's
you can
just the
retreat
control
back.
point,
Yeah,
you know,
you
and-
retreat
and-
back to your control point.
Totally.
You
Kind
can
of
heals
like
you
a pit stop more than a base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So-
main way though that you recover is when you're out of combat. Just a few seconds out of combat, you just auto start regenerating your health and your stamina.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, so sort of. So like you have 2 meters. You have your health meter and you have your stamina meter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When your stamina meter is full, then your health starts going up slowly.
Gotcha.
And you lose stamina whenever you're running, when you're in combat, when you're
Sprinting.
attacking, or sprinting or jump attacking, or
So you
doing
kind of
your
have
abilities.
to be quote unquote like idle just to regain your health.
You could
Not
be moving
necessarily-
around.
Oh yeah, you could be
No,
moving
not-
around.
Yeah, but like more past. Like you can't be sprinting, doing crazy shit or
You
whatever.
can be. That's the strategy of it, right? So you're trying to manage your resource. You're trying to manage your stamina resource. You're trying to maybe hit and run tactics. Obviously,
Totally.
it depends on which hero you're
I
playing.
see. I see. Okay,
but a
I
lot
got
of strategy comes into how do you manage, how much do you commit to the battle,
Yeah.
how much do you contribute, and
Gotcha.
then maybe it's not worth going all the way and dying right here. Maybe you want to do a little bit of chip damage, come around, flank, map awareness. And actually, they do something very interesting with the geography of the mapping. There's such a thing as a last clash when either one gigantic or the other is at 1 HP, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
It announces last clash and the map shifts. A part of the map loses its control points and becomes absolutely useless. And an entire other part of the map becomes accessible and new points are unlocked. And everybody on the map just starts running to that new section. And then
So
so,
it's
now
like
you're occupying
a final like
Yeah.
hurrah.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
It's like a
Oh,
piece of
cool.
the map that was inaccessible until now, and then now everybody
That's
accesses
interesting.
it. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask: is the purpose of this change and shift and everything like that? Can you swing the game? Because if it's a last
Yes.
clash, it feels like oftentimes, from what I'm imagining, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, from what I'm imagining, a last clash is usually someone's losing, someone's winning.
Yes.
Right?
You could swing the game.
So can
Totally.
you swing
Yeah.
the game with the last clash? Is that why it exists?
Not with
So-
the last
no,
clash.
no, so like
anytime.
basically, yeah. Well, whenever it goes into, I think it's called Final Clash. It doesn't
Final
matter,
Clash.
but
Oh,
yeah, it's-
whatever, yeah,
yeah. Whenever it goes into Final Clash, all that means it's like match point. You know, like whenever it's like it's getting there.
That's fair.
yeah. But just the map itself changes slightly. Like you get a new place to play around in. But other than that, like the game, like it doesn't give the other team any advantage.
Yep.
Like nothing else is happening.
Let's say you're on the Griffin team, okay? So there's a variety of ways to accumulate charge for your gigantic for it to initiate an attack on the enemy gigantic. One of the ways is controlling the points, and they auto-generate power, which if you have a beast summoned there, it just auto-collects it. If you don't, you got to run there and collect it
Gotcha.
yourself. But you typically have a beast summoned at every control point, unless like the
Yeah.
enemy is trying to contest. So another way is obviously kill enemy players. That's really the way I concern myself with, and I focus on just killing the enemy
For sure.
players. Every time you kill one, you get 10 of power. Yeah, so kill them 10 times, you got 100 power, your Griffin's attacking. So what could be happening is your team's dying and the enemy team's dying. The enemy team's collected like 50 power because they killed 5 of you guys so far. You've collected like 60 power because you've killed 6 of them, right? So it's a race because whoever gets to 100 first, the other team could be at 90. But if you get to 100 first, your team's the one that initiates the attack. So let's say you initiate the attack, your Griffin starts like flying through the sky, doing random like attacks along the map. So the enemies actually have to start watching out and they need to
Yeah.
retreat, take up a defensive position. Your team pushes in. The Griffin comes on top of like the enemy gigantic, like grabs his head and like smashes it into the ground. The Griffin himself
yeah, dude.
does a bit of damage to
Yeah.
the gigantic on this move itself. So you don't necessarily have to push with your team because it could be risky. So what I found a lot of times is every time the gigantic is attacking, it's not necessarily like dive. Don't necessarily dive the enemy gigantic because if your team wipes right there, you might get very minimal damage in, and every time they get a kill on you while this attack is initiated, their gigantic gets a shield.
Mhm.
So if you're just gonna go in and die, it's not worth it.
It's not worth
Just
it.
hang back, let your gigantic do the bit of damage that it does, and then just get it again, get the charge again, because once it's done, it's like a duration.
Yeah.
Their gigantic's vulnerable, and there's a timer, like 30 seconds or 20 seconds or
That's
something.
cool, man.
Yeah.
It's like you know, when you guys are talking about it, obviously the MOBA, analogies come to mind and things like that. And so I'm thinking like towers, I'm thinking barracks, I'm thinking the fountain, and in some games,
There's none of that, actually.
there's none
Yeah,
of that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the gigantics doing things to the gigantics, and you're talking about, all right, there's a vulnerable period and all this that,
yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, this is what is the natural evolution, I guess, because it's more interactive.
It's more dynamic.
It's more dynamic.
Yeah.
You have to think a little bit more on your feet as opposed to these kind of immutable structures that just take chip
It's like-
damage over time. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
It's the same way. It's the same way that I think Heroes of the Storm
I was gonna
innovated the genre.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
same
like
thing
this
word
I
for
was
is
word.
thinking-
innovating the genre. Like it's streamlining a lot of things,
Yeah.
and it's just changing the formula enough
Yeah.
to make it fresh.
Yeah,
and, like
man.
it's getting good ideas from so many other games. Like I
Yeah.
can see bits of Smite and Heroes of the Storm.
Yes.
And League of Legends, like all of these other like very popular, very
Yeah, yeah,
solid
yeah.
MOBAs for what they are.
For sure.
But like they're just like the cherry picking ideas. Like this is a good idea.
Yep.
This is a good idea. And then they're putting it together in a very tight package.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Like it's a cool game.
And
And
I
like,
was thinking of Heroes while you guys were explaining
Right.
this.
yeah.
Not
That's like-
because they're absolutely similar, but just due to the way that the styles have been progressing.
It's more similar than you would think because there's no gold. You're not buying weapons. You're not really putting points into skills either. Like it's just talents.
Can I ask
You're putting
how,
talents
it's,
just like
you're getting
heroes into
talents,
your
yeah.
abilities.
it's
Yeah.
how many v how many?
It's 5v5.
5v5. Okay, okay.
It's 5v5. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that was my question.
You know,
Yeah, how many?
composition matters, but not
So are there
as
things
much.
like, is there a
I
carry?
think-
Is there
I
a
think-
support? Is there a
No, yeah, there's a
Yes.
support. Like there's like support. Okay, so that's the thing, man. Like
That's
it's
the-
kind of
yeah.
it's kind of weird because there's like 7-8 different subclasses, and they're all and like each character has like 3 or like 2 or 3 classes built inside. So you might have a utility support.
Yeah.
You might have
Summoner
a,
utility.
Yeah.
Summoner caster.
exactly.
You know.
But I
So-
mean, they have to boil down to
Yeah.
the same archetypes at some point,
Roughly.
right?
Their
It's-
abilities
it's like,
vary.
That's the thing. Yeah, man. Like the different talents and the abilities that you choose,
You can
it
be very
changes enough.
versatile.
Yeah. So, like for example, Lord Knossos,
Sure.
which is like some like a cow
He's like
minotaur.
he's
sort
like
of
a
thing.
weird
bull.
name, dude.
Yeah. Lord Knossos. He's like
Uh,
a bull.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like Lord Knossos, like you can choose to build him more of a bruiser, so you do some decent damage, or you can build him more of a tank, or like you know, like it's up to you how
And
you
you're
choose
not
to
doing
build
that
your
via
characters.
items. You're doing that via abilities.
Talents
Yeah.
per level.
Or
yeah.
Yep.
As
So
you're
that
rolling.
is a lot like Heroes, I guess.
Yes.
In that way,
Yeah.
is that you? Because like for instance, some heroes like Varian, you build him differently. In
Totally.
Heroes,
Exactly.
Depending
Yeah.
on the game, what
Yeah.
you want.
One very
and
interesting thing that we haven't talked about yet
Mhm.
is the ultimate, because the ultimate
yeah.
is very interestingly done.
Yep.
So every hero has an ultimate.
Yeah.
It's your F, and you store up to 3 charges. And the more charges you have, the more damage or the more effective it is. But at the same time, you can use your charges of your ultimate to upgrade the beasts
At
that
your
you make
control
at your
points.
control points.
So you have to make a choice
Exactly.
at that point. Oh, that's
so like
fun.
I think that's kind of where it comes like, okay, are you playing more of a carry damage dealer sort of thing? Then you hold on to your ultimates. But if you're playing more of like a supporty, you know, like
Utility.
behind the gates, you know, like doing all
Yeah.
that,
So
then
let
you
me-
might want to spend it to upgrade your dudes.
So let me get this straight. So every hero has their own ultimate.
Yes.
And their unique abilities, unique ultimates,
Yes.
as far as I know. Okay. And on top of that, everyone has the option to unanimously, in the same way, boost
Yes.
the gigantic.
Yes.
Yes.
So
no,
there's
not
no-
the gigantic, the beast.
Evolve
the
your
beast.
beast.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Evolve your beast. Sorry.
Yeah.
So boost the beast.
At-
Okay.
At the control points.
But everybody, when they boost the beast, it's the same.
Yes.
Well, okay, no.
What do you mean it's the same?
It's-
So the-
so
there
like
are-
beast is the same.
So if you boost, so we're playing 2 different heroes.
Yes.
You boost the beast, and I boost the beast instead of like
If-
doing
no,
the thing.
No.
do
So
you
like
mean?
at the beginning of the match, you get a loadout of different cards that you could take in, and you get 3 choices, and those are the beasts that you take in with you.
There is a variety of
And
beasts.
you can only upgrade a beast once.
Yeah,
like
I know.
and you use it up.
Yeah, but if what I think what John's asking is if if there's a beast summoned here, and if I evolve this beast or versus he evolved this
Let's say
beast,
it's
it's
the
still
baby
going to
Minotaur.
evolve the same.
No.
to the- what?
Let's say it's a baby Minotaur. I can choose to upgrade it to a healing one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that
Really?
beast is. Yep.
You mean a young like Cyclops can be upgraded to like the big tree?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I thought
Yep.
it replaces
No.
it.
I didn't know it,
It
either.
does-
all
it
right.
does
But-
replace-
but
no, no,
with
it
a
totally
non-evolved
replace-
version.
No,
with,
it
like,
replaces it with the
base.
evolved version.
I
So you could
Didn't
just
know
like,
that.
let's say you have like a forward position, you have like a healer thing there, and you're like, no, you know what? Like a wall is going to benefit here. So
Yeah.
you spend your 2 points
Aw,
and you bring
man.
a Minotaur dude
I
up.
just always wanted to do that, but I kept thinking I was just going to replace it with the other base, so
No,
I
no.
never did it.
No.
You're welcome.
So it's
Mike.
like
my
it's basically,
God,
I've
man.
elevated your game, dude.
but yeah, it's interesting.
I guess so.
And yeah, so like the base beast that you put, you have unlimited charges of those. So if they kill your beast, by the way, killing beasts gives power. So
I imagine,
if you can't defend like a baby beast, then it might be smarter not to build the beast at all.
Yeah.
You know, like you just got to be
'Cause
smart.
they're
with it.
young
That is
babies
that
when
is
you spawn
actually
them.
pretty funny. So it's sometimes better to do nothing
Absolutely.
in a situation
Uh-huh.
than do
Yeah.
something.
Until
but
Dawn
not
has
quite.
taught us well, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's
There you go.
very funny, man.
And then,
that's
there
something new
is-
in the genre as well. That's something new in MOBAs.
Yeah,
like-
it's like building up your own tower / creep sort of thing.
Or
It's-
not.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's
putting a
cool.
forward tower, if the enemy kills it, they get gold.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes it's better not to put that forward tower.
that's
you know?
fucking cool.
So
dude.
you can build beasts on your own points. You can't build it on enemy points,
Yeah.
except the obelisk, which is its own separate beast that you can build on basically any point. But
is
it
an
doesn't.
obelisk like a monster? Because an obelisk,
It sorta
has
looks like a
it's an
tower.
object.
Yeah, it's like a tower with like little legs.
oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's fun.
But you have to purchase the obelisk.
yeah. So like purchasing. So you start off with 3 of the big beasts, and then with gold or with money, you can buy the other ones.
All right.
Yeah.
How long do games last, guys?
30 minutes.
I would say 30 minutes is like near the end of it, like near the top of it.
So it's a very like it's
No, yeah,
heroes-esque.
they come together.
It's like heroes.
kind of.
Yeah.
It varies depending on the map, and like you
Yeah.
know, you could drag it
They
out.
play pretty
you
quick.
know, if the enemy it's like a close match,
Yeah.
the enemy team's
And then,
decent.
so we actually haven't talked about the just the gameplay, like the moment to moment gameplay.
Mm.
It plays very tight. It's very fast paced, and
I've seen the clips, man. It looks
it's
gorgeous.
very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very smooth, and so movement and mobility is a very big part of the game because
Mhm.
you're just like
Huge.
zipping across the map all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like every character has like some crazy mobility option, whether it's like a jump or their sprint.
Yeah.
They go really quickly.
Even aside from their abilities, there's just the WASD spacebar and shift keys. I can foresee professionals playing this game and just handling that so well
Yeah.
that like a regular player like me would not be able to land a shot.
In
It's
what
like-
way?
it's-
what do you
it's
mean?
like-
You're
it's in-
quick, man. All the characters move really quick. So if you're really good and you know the map really well, and you know what to jump off of and which directions to turn, you could escape out of any situation.
This is going to be a very specific question, like very particular, but it's something I do in a lot of games. So let's say I jump.
yeah.
Am I able to control my
Yes.
direction while I jump in
Yes.
such a way that if I'm jumping forward, but
Yes.
then I press S, I'm able to kind of
Yeah.
Yes.
You get a lot
That's
of control.
what I
yeah.
love.
You jump
dude.
around the
That's what I-
corner. You jump around the corner, but then you kind of strafe.
You kind of strafe.
Yeah.
That's what I love, dude. Is when I can control movement.
Yeah.
The amount
while
of
I'm
times I've
jumping.
averted death doing that, dude, it feels so satisfying.
So you say that. So does that mean they're skill shots? Like it's all skill shots,
Yeah,
like kind of
bro.
thing.
Like basically
Well, I
everything's a
don't know,
skill
yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's a skill
like
shot.
I said, it's like
So it's
Han
like- oh,
if it was
interesting.
turned into like Smite almost.
That's fun, dude.
It's kind of like Han Smite minus all the minions, towers,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and just the evolved
No, I
version
hear
of it.
you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
and then
cool,
so like
man.
again, like going back to the mobility and everything, like everyone has a dodge, and melee characters you can dodge and attack, and that gives you like a nice counter attack.
Cool.
You
And
double
then-
tap WASD,
Yeah.
not W, but ASD.
I got you, yeah,
dodge.
yeah.
It uses like a chunk of stamina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, I mean, really random analogy, but that's actually a lot like The Witcher. Like how you move in The Witcher is like that. Like you double tap to do
Sure.
combos, dodges,
Sure.
parries, things
Yeah.
like that. So,
You don't lock onto enemies or anything.
Yeah.
You have a crosshair. You do have to aim. The
so
better
with your
you
mouse,
are,
you're aiming,
Yeah.
and with your thing, you're moving.
yeah.
Okay,
the better you
fair.
are at FPS games, the better you're gonna do
It's
at
interesting
this game.
too because like it's a mix. It's a very odd mix of the type of heroes and the characters that they have. Like you have spellcasters, which play like as you expect the
Like
spellcaster
mages
to do,
and
like
stuff,
mages
yeah.
and stuff.
But you
Cool.
still
And then
have
you
to
have like
aim.
straight up shooters.
You do have straight up shooters.
like you're like playing
sniper.
a third. Yeah, there's a straight up sniper in the game.
One of my
like,
favorite
you go
characters.
like iron sights. Like you go into your scope and you
Scope.
like snipe across the map.
yeah, like
So this
like
is-
bullseye.
So
scope.
this isn't like in. I shudder to say it, didn't me?
Uh-oh.
Overwatch.
But this is no, not
Overwatch?
Overwatch. Dota.
oh,
So it's like, Dota has kind of a cohesive art style. The heroes are all like within its own kind of theme and stuff like that. This isn't like that. So there's like mages, as Emmy was saying, but then there's also like a sniper with a gun and
Yeah.
everything like that. So they don't necessarily have that sort of
oh,
restriction.
you mean like
or-
in their world?
No, no.
you know what
I
I'm
would say
saying
they
though?
fit-
Like, how Dota
No.
has like its own thing and you can't really like an alchemist looks like the alchemist. The fucking lichen looks like the lichen.
Oh no, I
There's
think they
no, like,
have
sni-
something
you know.
going on. They have something going
So
on.
I actually spent some time and read through the lore. You basically get the lore with the different skins. So like every skin gives
Okay.
you like just a little bit of lore, and it
Cosmetic
builds up on the
skins,
character.
right?
Yeah, cosmetic skins,
Okay.
which is exactly what you expect the cosmetic skins
Sure,
to be.
Just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
heroes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it gives you a little flavor text that just kind of like builds up, like tells you a little bit more about the character, and that's sort of like how you learn about the character by like reading the different descriptions.
So
and
very
stuff.
Dark Souls-esque too.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Good shit, boys.
Like I'm
Good
saying, man,
shit.
like it's like a best of. Like they're just like pulling different, cherry picking
Yeah.
very good ideas.
I like that.
I
I
agree.
like
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Let me tell you just like quick example of what I do as Imani the sniper.
Tell me, dude.
So a lot of the game, like we said, is a shooter game. So line of sights. You don't want to just sprint across a corner and not like be looking or paying attention because you might just literally run into the enemy team and then you're dead in seconds, right? So you want to be kind of careful. You want to be aware of where the enemy is. So let's say I know they're around the corner. I'm edging. So I scope in and then I'm edging around the corner, right? Just like little peeks, just a little bit. The second
And this is first person, right?
when I scope in.
When you scope in, it's
yeah,
first
but
person.
otherwise it's third person.
Yeah, I
right?
know
So
that.
I can shoot third person too with my left click if I want. Right. So, anyways, I scope in, and then like I'm peeking. The second I present myself, I start getting shot by like one of the shooters on their team. Maybe
Yeah.
they're not playing the same character. There's other shooters too, like Beckett or something, right?
Yeah.
She has like pistols and stuff. So like she starts trying to shoot me, but I have like a more pinpoint shot. So like I nail her. And the way Imani works is she does 2 times damage. If you like load the scope, you know how you stay scoped for a little bit, like a little loading bar, and then it clicks to 2 times damage. If I nail a 2 times shot, my click increases to 3 times damage.
Oh,
And then
for
if
sure.
I nail my 3 times, it stays at 3 again. So I can just repeatedly do 3 times damage shots at like 400 plus damage. And like I start seeing the enemy team starting to scurry, right? They're there, they're very confident. They start off like bashing our team. Suddenly they're taking like huge ticks of damage.
Because you're in the back.
Yeah, I'm
you're, like,
way in the
peeking,
back,
yeah.
like line of sight. They can barely spot me. And then you see them backing up. They're starting to retreat. One of them's out. He's too low. Next one, he's getting too low. He starts running away. Our team catches them, get
That's
a kill.
fun, man.
Suddenly the tide of battle changes. You know, so you gotta map awareness.
Dude, that's not
everything.
So let me ask you guys, just knowing the way I play these kind of games,
You would have a ton of fun, especially with friends.
I honestly don't doubt that. It seems like a very fun game.
Yeah.
Sure.
But my question is, what hero do you think I would like?
Oh, dude, Paco.
Who's Paco,
Oh
dude?
no, I wouldn't say Paco.
Why?
Paco's like this big abdominal, adorable snowman. That's what he is.
Cool. What does he do? I mean,
You throw. Okay, so
Tell me about
your,
it.
your left click is literally just swiping. You're swiping
Yeah.
with your big paws.
I like that
You-
so far.
Your right click, you press it and you hold it, and he starts accumulating a big snowball in his hand, and it gets bigger, and then you just throw it. If you get like direct hits, it does more stuff, and then like AOE
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, it, like freezes enemies.
I like
you
that.
you blow like a big snow path in front of you that like speeds up your allies and you and slows down enemies. Your Q is like you start rolling forward and
So
like
how
you
many
can.
abilities do every? Is it the same? Like kind of the
QE?
4 abilities, or
It's not 4, is it?
It's I mean it's 4
It's
if you
4,
count
I
your
guess.
like left click.
Okay, so left click,
your auto
right
attack.
click, QE, and then your ultimate F.
F? Oh, so it's kind of mapped differently than
It's a
most
little
MOBAs,
different,
huh?
man. It's a
But
little
it's
different.
mostly the
Because
same.
it is a
yeah.
WASD. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's WSD.
So like
Dude,
w- one
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Now it's coming
it's
together.
coming
at-
together.
Yeah.
Not
it's
that
third
you
person.
guys said it before,
But
Yeah.
it's like Overwatch.
but now I'm thinking about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very
Damn.
similar to how Overwatch to how it plays. Like the way you're moving around the map and you're killing enemy people and encountering them. It's like almost Overwatch.
Do
like
you guys remember Paragon?
yes,
I
Yes.
played
remember
that like
Paragon.
very briefly.
we played that for I want to say
You
an
played that
hour
too?
or 2 tops. Yeah, I played it with you
Oh,
guys.
Shit, no way, I forgot.
Yeah,
I
with that
remember.
Unreal MOBA, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
or was
remember
the
playing it a little
Epic
bit.
Games, I think. It
Oh,
was there.
Epic Games. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Epic Games.
So in some ways, it sort of reminds me of that because verticality played a very, very big role in that game, and so it does in this one too. Like platforming is a thing in this game. Yeah.
Like Mario, like Yahoo!
Yes.
no, totally.
Landing your jumps.
Sometimes the
time.
most efficient way.
serious?
Sometimes
Yes.
the most efficient way to get to where you're going, you have to go through like a very fucking narrow passage, like on top of fucking cliffs and shit, and like jump
the
from one thing
hell?
to another.
Like to get up to like a certain control point quickly.
Yeah.
You gotta like jump from one thing to the other thing and make that jump and like sprint jump.
And different
that.
heroes are better at it than
Yes,
others.
some
I'm
are
guessing.
faster, some are
yeah,
slower.
Some are like the tanky, like the bigger characters you have tend to be a little bit less mobile, but like the small agile ones that you could just be
Yeah.
like zipping all over the place.
Dude, the way you guys are talking about this game, like just let's say no one's ever seen it, heard of it, or anything like that, and the way you guys are talking about it, it sounds amazing, but it sounds very complicated. How is it when you're actually playing it? Is it intuitive and simple and everything's chilling? Or would you say
It's-
it has kind of like a high
I'll
skill
tell you,
ceiling?
bro.
It's different, you
It
know? Like,
can have a high skill ceiling in the sense of like all these little details. Like Emin brought up a couple of points where I didn't even know about the game, and I'm
Yeah.
already thinking, man, if I start utilizing these little details, I'm already going to improve my performance a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely stuff like that. The more
course.
knowledge you have about how the game works, the better you're going to perform. Map awareness, all those things, right? But-
experience, empirical, yeah.
But not having all those things is not going to make the game unplayable or not fun somehow.
It's,
going to
fair.
be totally fun.
It's a
Sure.
very deep game. Again, like I haven't played too much of it, but like from what I played, like I can see like there's a lot of layers here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, but just from the forefront, you just get into it.
Yeah.
Within game one, you're gonna know what's happening.
Yeah.
and you're gonna understand. Like it's very clear.
I'm down, boys.
You
It's very
played the
clear just
tutorial
the way that-
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you
It
have
forces
to,
you
right?
through the
Yeah.
tutorial.
So once you play the tutorial, you already have a good sense of like, okay, the beasts and the control points, how that works, how I summon things. Okay, I got that down. You obviously know how to left click and right click and how to press Q and E and WSD.
I mean, I hope, yeah.
Yeah, so you already have like all those basic things down. It's not like your first rodeo in a WASD type of shooter game.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've played Overwatch. You'll get this game. You just pick a hero that looks cool, start trying them out, getting a sense of what the heroes do. Not too many heroes out right now, so it won't take too long to like know how to deal
How
with
many
every
heroes?
hero.
Roughly.
20 up to 20, less than 20 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say probably less than 20.
Yeah, that's actually less than I thought.
Quite a few
to be
heroes.
honest with you.
That's a small roster, but
Super
again,
small.
like it just came out. They
Yeah,
just
well, yeah.
they just released Ramsey right before we got it.
Yeah,
by the
they
way,
just
that was like
released
the
Ramsey.
release hero.
Pretty cool hero.
Yeah,
I like
cool
the heroes,
hero.
man. They're cozy. I like this roster. I think it's satisfactory for me personally to deal with this roster. I'm not craving new heroes right now. I think I still haven't tried all the heroes either.
Yeah.
I'm still down to keep trying them and stuff. It's going to tide me over, I'm sure, till their next hero at least.
Dude, I gotta say, everything you're telling me sounds amazing. I want to play it, and the most important part to me is that it's fair, free to play, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a rotation.
Just
Yeah.
a
So
rotation,
it's like-
which is all good.
Yeah. And I think the model that they're going for, like the entire payment model, is very smart. It's very smart because it's $30 and you get every
Oh, yeah.
hero that is out right now.
That's
every
right.
hero that
Did
ever
you
will
say
be.
it's very smite?
Yeah, it's very like Smite
That's
because that's
funny.
what Smite did.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
It's very smart.
yeah, that's what I. Because it's kind
Oh,
of like,
sure.
like it's very smart. It's very smite. Yeah.
a little bit of both.
It's funny.
Yeah. Because I think that's a really smart way of doing it. Like I got it for free. I played one round and I knew immediately like this game is all right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Same here, man. We both dished
Dude,
out the $29.99 for the heroes.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna dish out anything, but
That's
I'm
fine.
definitely
Yep.
down to
Definitely
fucking
give it a
play.
try. Yep.
It sounds super fun. I really want to give it a shot. I've seen the clips. I've seen the animations. They look gorgeous. They look fun. They look smooth, as you guys were saying.
You had fun with heroes with us, right?
I still want to have fun
Yeah.
in Heroes with you guys.
Yeah.
We haven't played in a little while, boys.
So that gigantic is like that fun,
Yeah.
but just making it fresh.
I think this
down.
might be eating into my heroes time a little bit.
it is
It
100%.
seems
For
like
sure.
it is.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
no
if
one's
you're on-
no one's calling me
Yeah,
on Steam
no.
like, hey, we want to play Heroes. We're about to play Heroes.
Yeah, no.
I used to hear those messages
No.
pretty often,
Yeah.
and now
No, I'm pretty sure it's going to be gigantic for me tonight.
Yeah, gigantic for
Fuck,
sure.
sure.
I'm gonna
dude.
play gigantic. We're
I just
gonna
got to
play
download that shit,
You gotta
boys.
download
Yeah,
that
at
shit,
the
man.
very least, I recommend people to at least YouTube it, watch some videos.
Give it a
because
try.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous. That
Dude,
game is gorgeous.
If you have
It's
Steam,
beautiful.
it's free. Just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
load it up.
You know, I was actually on Mumble and I was trying to tell Mason about it because he was like, "What the fuck is this shit? What are you playing?"
got it.
Oh, Mason.
Yeah, I
would
know he got
probably
it.
Love to play.
I know
a
he
game
got
like
it,
that,
but
dude.
like before he got it, or maybe he had already gotten it, but he was asking me about it. Like he was asking me, "What is this?" And I had no knowledge of like what he knew about the game
Sure.
or not. So I just said it was a MOBA, and he immediately was turned off. He's like, he probably thought like Dota and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no. And then I had to like clarify. It's more like this. And then I explained like, oh, it's like an arena and like PvP is the focus and you're just going around and like, yeah. And then he's like, suddenly he was like, oh, more interested. So then that brought up the question of like, what is like, what is up with this term MOBA? Like when would you call Gigantic a MOBA? And if you do, how do you say that and also call Dota a MOBA? You know what I mean?
I don't think we have time to get into this topic right now, Eric.
Oh boy. Maybe we'll save it for next time.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
I think we have to save for next time because
sure.
I do have a lot to talk about.
guys,
MOBA
is
thing, like-
Okay.
Players Battleground a MOBA? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude, is Overwatch a MOBA? What does MOBA stand for, man?
Yeah. I have so much to say, but we
You know
got
what?
into this topic a little bit
You
too
know what,
late.
dude? Tune in.
Yeah, mail us your thoughts.
Yeah,
How would
that's
you
good.
describe a MOBA game?
What's a MOBA?
Yeah, what's a MOBA?
What the hell is a MOBA?
What
Yeah.
makes up a MOBA? What are the key mechanics and
think we-
characteristics?
I actually had a legit question, though. But,
I
we
mean,
were
you
doing
can- you
this
can-
whole
you
email
can ask
and
it.
stuff. Well, I don't know,
Sure.
man. I don't know what I can ask, but like, we were doing the whole email conversation and everything like that about MOBAs and all that. No one mentioned Battle Right, dude.
Yeah,
None of you guys mentioned
You're right.
Battle Right.
We did like in our
We don't need
emails.
to talk about it for too long, but would you call that a MOBA?
I would say no.
I would say no, man, but like
in like the
at the
okay,
same
God
time-
damn it.
yeah, we're
Like
talking
in the
about it.
traditional sense.
yeah.
Okay. I say
Let's just save this for next time.
I say we call it an episode.
Let's say because if
I
we
say
get
we
into
call it
it
an
now, it's
episode.
gonna be another like hour at least.
Yeah, no, another hour at least. Like this is its
Damn,
own.
man.
This is its own separate thing
That's
because
funny.
like this is legitimately something I'm very passionate about. Like not only MOBAs, but like just genres in specific in general. Like I find that shit fascinating,
Dude, you know what?
And like whenever like genres start to blur,
Yeah.
that's where innovation happens.
Can we
agree.
actually dedicate an entire episode not to MOBAs but to genres? Because when I was thinking about the whole thing, I was thinking of what is a roguelike?
Yeah,
Because
Sure,
that
man.
is, or what is or Metroidvania?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that, dude?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight compared to Metroid. What
Sure.
the hell? What is going on, dude? I'm down with a genre combo. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking down.
it's a fascinating topic.
Just
like
cat-
I do
yeah.
I do like that a
Just
lot.
the concept of like categorizing these things into like a little
it's
box.
so
Yeah.
blurry and sometimes arbitrary, man. It's fun
For
It's
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
All right.
man. All right, boys.
about
Fucking A, dude.
Oof. That
Yeah,
was
man.
yeah.
Where did the time go, dude?
I don't know.
That was
man.
quick.
Where did the time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna download Gigantic for sure.
Yeah,
You should.
totally, man.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're around tonight, I'm gonna be playing some tonight.
I'll try. Yeah,
How
I
about
mean, I'll try to download it, see how fast it downloads, and I'll play.
Yeah, not a big game. All right, boys.
Okay,
Let's call
man.
an episode.
Definitely.
Very good seeing you guys.
Very good.
Very
Truly.
good seeing you, Josh. Even though I see you way too fucking often, but that's all right. All right, boys.
All right, man.
All right.
Oh yeah, mail
Mail.
at thenextlevel.com. It's our
Yeah.
email.
That's where you
So,
gotta send
yeah,
everything.
how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
Let us
boys.
know. Bye bye.
Let's get out of here.
Good night.
Gorgeous.